So to add the editor role, what we're going to do is in the server.js, we're going to do actually something very similar to this block of code, which attempts to find the admin role. If it doesn't exist, it creates it. The only thing is, in this block of code, we're also checking if no user exists that has the role. Actually, are we checking that? Find one. Oh, we're not. Okay. What we're going to do here is modify this. So this just checks so when it creates, actually, no, that's fine. Because, yeah, it only instantiates once when it actually creates the role. Okay, moving on. What we're going to do is we're going to attempt to find the editor role. If it does not exist, we're going to create it. And then we're going to apply an ACL to our post model that states an editor can create new posts and write to posts, I guess. So let's go ahead and type app.models.role.find, and we're going to use a filter again with a where condition. So this is like MySQL. We can look for instances of this model that adhere to a certain structure, or where fields exist or don't exist. And we'll get more into elaborate use cases of the filter object a bit later. So we're going to look for a role where the name is editor. So this should either be an error or a role. Actually, roles. And what we can do is if not error and roles, this should be a list or an array. And what we can do is say if roles.length equals 0, we're going to open up a new code block here, and we're going to create the editor role. So app.models. I spelled that wrong. Models. .role.create, and we're going to create a role. So we're going to drop this down into an object. Sometimes these pop-ups get annoying. I don't know if there's a way to disable them or conditionally disable them, so we'll just, I guess, have to deal with it. So if there's no editor role, we're going to create a role with the name of editor and a trailing comma. I'm trying to go down to the next line, but when I click down, that pop-up was stealing focus, I guess. And then we're going to take creation error. And by the way, when I say error, usually it's just ERR. Or result. So now that we're in the callback method for creating the role editor, we can now just, we could leave it here. So let's just console log. Creation error or result. And that with semicolon. Same here. And same here. And put a single blank line at the end of the file. And let's go ahead and save. Now if I run npm start and we go ahead and look at let's close. So in MongoDB you'll get all these tabs up here. Each time you double click on a collection, it will open up a new tab focusing on that collection. So let's close other shells and just open up role, and now we have editor and admin. Good stuff. Now, what we need to do is, in addition to allowing admins to post and modify posts, I suppose I should have named that model article so that it wasn't so confusing when talk about, the post method and the post model. But yeah, that's not how it went. So we just have to understand that you can post posts. All right. Let's go ahead and apply an ACL to the editor, or for the editor to the post model. So let's go ahead and Control C out of here and run LB ACL. And sometimes these LB methods take a few seconds to actually get up and going. Let's go ahead and select post, all methods and properties related to write. We're going to say, under the role, we're going to say other, and we're going to type the name editor, all lowercase, just as we named it in the server.js script. And we're going to say explicitly grant access. And we are done. If we were to now open up the post.json file under common models, we'll see a new ACL has been added. So let's read over these right quick. Everyone is denied access to write. The admin is allowed access to write. And the editor is allowed access to write. Now, right now, that leaves us with three different differentiated roles. So three specific roles that we're using. We have everyone, which is everyone, which can get all content. So they can view the profile, the posts, everything. They cannot post either one of them. So if you sign up as a, let's say, subscriber, you will still have a profile object and you're able to modify that one, but no other ones because you are the owner of that profile object. We have an admin who is allowed to do everything with every collection. And then we have an editor who has the same restrictions as subscribers to the profile objects. They can only modify their own profile, but they can also add posts. So we've got these three roles now, and the access control related to each of these roles. And what we'll do is once we we're going to circle back to our React application and build out an admin interface using Material UI, because I also want to cover that awesome framework as well. And so when we do that, we will make all of this make sense. And we'll have like tables of users, let's say, and an admin can change the role of these users as it sees fit. So we'll come back to that. And I guess a big part of that as well is going to be talking about React Redux. And that is an application level state, so that when we make these API calls, we're going to be doing it not inside the components themselves. We're going to be using actions and just other scripts kind of more in the background than the application. So we will get back to that stuff. What we need to do is, I think right now with the roles and stuff, I'm happy with that. We're set up for the profile and posts. I guess in the next video, what we're probably going to do is just add some categories, some finishing up, and then also allow users to upload files. So for the featured image in posts, we're going to need the ability to actually upload that file. And so we're going to be talking about remote methods.